What's up, everyone? This has been the Bearded Coffee Blogger, and welcome back to the channel. I was off 1 week. We just welcomed my fourth child, new little daughter, to the family, and it's just been too crazy to do anything but drink coffee. So no coffee videos, but I have been trying out some good stuff. But I'm back today for another Saturday coffee drop, and I've got something really exciting, or at least for me, exciting, kind of bit on the coffee geekery side of things that I want to do with you today, try with you today. So let's get into it. This, again, Ben, the Bearded Coffee Blogger. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got two recent coffees. This is the May subscription offerings that I got from Tim Wendelboe. And you guys know, if you've been following along, that I'm subscribed to his coffee subscription thing. And so this month I got two different coffees from Finca Tamana, which is the farm that he owns. And most of the coffee is developed by his friend Elias Roa. And I did not realize until recently that Tim, I knew he'd shot some videos. I didn't realize that he did a tasting video every month with the coffees that he sends out, which is super cool because I got more background information. So here's what we're going to do. These are both from Finca Tamana, right? That's his farm. Two different coffees from Finca Tamana, but they're not the same coffee. They're different varietals. So I don't know if in my coffee journey I've ever gotten to try coffees separated like this, where they're from, it's the same terroir, it's the same farm. So, the soil is essentially the same across the farm. It's not exactly the same, but by the time you pick and you put it all together, it's the same terroir. Terroir refers to the flavor of the soil, like what happens to the fruit as it grows in that soil. And different places have different terroirs. And that's why, we have all these different coffees from different parts of the world, because the soil, the environment matters. But I've never gotten to try, coffees from the same farm, but different varietals until right now. So what we have here is, the first one is Finca Tamana. That's the farm. And the varietals are Caturra and Variedad Colombia. And hearing Tim talk about this on his channel, it's mostly Variedad Colombia. Variedad Colombia is a varietal that was developed from Caturra to be more resistant to coffee rust, which is a problem they're constantly fighting. And so that's this, and about 40% of his farm, apparently this is the majority, is Variedad Colombia, that's planted on Finca Tamana. But this one is Castillo Tambo. And Castillo Tambo is a further, genetic development of Variedad Colombia. So it was developed, I think, 30, 40 years ago. But, whoops, something just fell. It was developed 30, 40 years ago, but I think it adds further flavor and maybe even more coffee rust resistance. But it's a newer varietal. So apparently there's lots of different types of Castillo. Castillo Tambo is one of them. So this is the newer genetic, modification, so to speak. It's the newer varietal. But we're going to see two different coffees from the same farm, same soil, same terroir, same environment, just different varietals. How does that affect taste? To me, this is really interesting, because if there's one area I want to grow in, kind of my coffee knowledge, is how different what different varietals, I don't know much about the varietals, and how they affect taste and which one's better and all that sort of stuff. I know the names, but I don't usually know the characteristics associated with those names, other than a few things here or there. Like I know Geisha is really kick butt and tends to be high elevation and really floral. I know like Pacamara beans are really big, if you've ever seen those. But all the other varietals, I don't know too much about them. All right, so what we're going to do is try these side by side. So I brewed both of these coffees, V60, 16-1. Tried to pour them exactly the same, and we're going to try them out. So this is the Variedad Colombia. Okay. And this, my kids are running around, so if you hear banging, I'm sorry. It's my kids. This is the Castillo Tambo. So we'll start with the old guy first. I'll throw all the statistics on the screen. Basically, I think I've basically given them to you. These are both Huila, Colombia, from El Pital. That's where Finca Tamana is. They're both wash process. They're both 2021 harvests, so August and June. And we're not going to look at the tasting notes yet. So again, this is Varietals Colombia. I'm getting a pretty typical nose for a Colombian. We're getting that what I always, to me, it smells like crushed nuts with kind of like some caramelized sugar on them. A little bit of fruitiness, but I'm not sure what kind of fruit. Maybe some red fruit. Smells really delightful. This one, let's see. Again, this is the Castillo Tambo. Right off the bat, there's a little less of the kind of the sweetness of this one. It's a little more floral. Similar, but definitely more pronounced florality. And it smells like it might be more complex. Both really pleasant. In the bag, let's just see in the bag. Again, this is the Variedad Colombia. This is the Castillo Tambo. I like the Castillo Tambo better. They both smell delicious. This one seems to have more going on, which is kind of what we'd expect, right, from a potentially a better varietal. All right, let's see. So, yeah, overall, really nice sweetness with that nuttiness. Pretty good acidity. Really nice balance overall. The acidity is jumping out at me a little bit. Not in a bad way. But kind of like some kind of tart fruit. The nuttiness, kind of dark tart fruit, nuttiness, some sweetness, and that dark fruit is what's showing up as the acidity. Overall, good weight in the mouth. Not highly viscous, but nice. Oh, really balanced overall. Let's see how it compares to this. Okay, so this is lighter. This is more floral. It sits a little. It's not as heavy in your mouth. The fruit is not as dark. Definitely the florality over the citrus kind of comes through. I would say the acidity on this one's a little bit, and maybe I could brew this one slightly different. It's a little punchy. The acidity on this, for me, this one is not at all. This one's like super velvety. It's got a better mouthfeel. The acidity is a little bit more in check. And I would say you can tell they're related, but this is a superior product to me. I think that's what you would expect, though. Again, better varietal, potentially. If there is such a thing, but typically considered a further development of the cherry, of the tree. Yeah, it's still got that same kind of nuttiness with sweetness, but just the florality really jumps out at you. And then it's lighter in your mouth. It's better mouth feel. It's overall a more balanced coffee, in my opinion. This one heavier in your mouth, still really nice. Especially like going back to it, you kind of realize what's more going on. I get more fruitiness from this, more dark fruits, more sour dark fruits. Let's see what they say. So they say about this one. Verde Columbia, they say sweet chocolate, caramel, red fruits. Okay. And they say about this one, dark chocolate, herbal, red fruits. So, I mean, again, they're saying this one's a little sweeter um, overall, but both red fruits. This one's a little darker chocolate, but more herbal or more, to me, that herbaceousness comes across probably as a little more floral. The more they cool, the more like they are. But I prefer this one. So this is really cool. Again, I don't know how many opportunities you get to do something like this. I don't know how many makers are. Well, for one, there's not a lot that I'm aware of. There's not a lot of roasters out there who own a farm. Tim Wendelboe's kind of leading the way on that. He owns his own farm that he bought, and then he's working to make that farm really great. It's really interesting. I would encourage you to go over and check out his channel. I'll link it up below the video where he talks about this. And he's actually on the farm when he's talking about the May subscription, which is what these are from. And he's there with Elias Roa, the farmer who's doing the work. But you know, you just get a sense of the place and you get a sense of what they're doing. He talks some about how they're trying to improve things. I know he said when he first, again, the farm is majority Varietals Columbia, like 40%, and they're planting new stuff and trying new stuff. But this is still the primary crop. He said it scored, you know, not super great when he bought it, but they've quit using pesticides. They've put in better growing practices, all that sort of stuff, better fertilizer, all that sort of stuff. And now the cupping score has improved. And so it's just really cool to see what he's doing. It gives me a better sense of coffee and what really goes into, you know, owning a farm, improving a crop. And it's cool to see the farmer as well. So I would encourage you to check that out. Again, I will link it up in the below the video. But yeah, this has been the Bearded Coffee Blogger. So glad to be back with you guys on a Saturday, trying out some Tim Wendelboe coffee and getting to check out how do varietals affect flavor, what all these varietals mean, that sort of thing. So anyway, hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I will see you next week. Peace. I'm out. That felt weird. Peace. I'm out.